I'll never forget the feeling of my first completed quilt. It was like, I did this. You know, it was so neat.
There is a light blue.
In 2006, Vera Gramling was here at the time, and Vera helped me. She showed me how to run the machines. We all have different jobs, and she just asked me what I'd like to do, and I said, well, I've never sewed, so she said, I'll teach you. And then Miss Jane showed me how to do little things with the machines, and that was it. It was so cool to see material that people had donated, for us to be able to cut it up into squares and to watch it turn into something. I mean, it's just such a joy to do this.
I think they receive the love that goes into the product when they get a quilt from us. And I like to think that that impacts their life and makes a difference. We have so many quilts that I go, oh, this is beautiful. Oh, we need to auction this off to make some money. Or I'll say, oh, this is beautiful. We need to give this to some, special person that we know is in need. And we do give them to homeless people. Part of them go to the housing, where they take a person in, teach them how to care for themselves, try to find them a job, and someone is having trouble with heating bills, a lot of times they'll send a quilt with them.
Luckily, Bowling Green overall has been very supportive of us. People will donate material to us. They donate sheets to us that allows us to be able to make the quilts. Back in the olden days when Vera Gramling first started it, they were actually cutting up clothes, jeans and t-shirts and stuff to make these quilts. We've come a long way. We use the sheets to do this, and pretty much that's what we cut up is sheets. People, when we start running low, it's like people come out of the woodwork and we have sheets delivered to us.
We all run towards the fabric pile and just ooh and ah over the colors and think, oh yes, we can do this with this, and oh, this color looks good with that. It's the whole process that really is exciting.
We're quite opinionated, all of us, not just me. And when we talk about a quilt, we're talking about it with the quilt's best interest in mind. This looks good, well that doesn't look good. If somebody picks out a color, there's not anyone shy here that's gonna say, well that's ugly, and we move on. We laugh and joke and have a good time. And we have bonded over quilts in more than one way. A quilt will be made and they'll be special. There's been tears in this room, and I'm guilty of it. Shirley will bring in a special quilt and I'll just stand there and look at it and cry like a first grader.
The people that we have contact with that tell us the quilts mean so much more to them than just something to cover them with. That's how we discovered that it means something to them.
If you're going to spend the time to do it, you do it right. We try never to take shortcuts. We try to make sure that the quilt is as perfect as it can be when it leaves here. It's neat to have something that's homemade for you. If I give you something, I want it to be the best that I have that I can give. And I think that's how everyone feels. We want it to be the best.
A lot of that is creative design. Sometimes we have scraps that don't quite make a full quilt and we want to make a full-size quilt. So we put our heads together and try to design something that's pleasing. On every quilt that we make, we put this tag on. And one of our volunteers, who is now has Alzheimer's and can't help us anymore, came up with the idea of putting this tag on all of our quilts. And it's a label that goes on the quilts, and it says, made by Piecemakers, Hotel Inc., Bowling Green, Kentucky. When you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. And that's from Proverbs 3:24. So Jane Wilkinson came up with that idea of putting tags on all of our quilts, and so now that is a legacy that she has left with us, and we continue to do it to this day. These people, everyone that has passed through these doors means so much to all of us. It's heritage that is handed down from generation to generation, and I feel the same way about this group. I don't know why, but we just seem to fit together and continue to keep the legacy of quilting alive. There are many organizations, statewide as well as national-wide, that still are trying to keep quilting alive, and I think we play a very small part in that group, but nonetheless an important part.
I would really like to see more volunteers. And I think if people came in and sewed with us and met us as a group, maybe not just the first time, because it might take 2 or 3 times to warm up to us as a group, but I do believe that if they came in, they would see the benefit. You can't go wrong.
Even though some come and go, we seem to always keep the core going, which helps. And I'm just so impressed with the devotion and the time it takes. The group I work with are just outstanding.
We've said in the past, when it's not fun, we're done. We've all been here for years and years and years. We're not going anywhere. It's fun.